morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone that's going to be tuning in now, later. It's a very, very nice sunny day in UK, London especially. Kazilla had his camera on, he's disappeared for a few seconds, I'm sure. But look, we're going to be discussing about all the latest Chelsea news in general, as you can see from the title, Haaland and stuff. Like, going to be discussing, as always, going to be discussing about things that happened on Twitter today, which I didn't really like as well. But look, we've got a lot of people tuned in already. We've got Jamzino, we've got Rizal, we've got PS, we've got Yusuf, we've got Matt. Oh, Matt, of course, in the co-host. That guy, Shiloh, and Diki, man. Big up to everyone. Amar, Taha, Zach, Chelsea. Yusuf. Look, big up to all of you guys. If I missed out anyone, Yusuf, I apologize. And keep liking the video as it helps out the channel. And obviously, rest in peace, Claude, man. Sad day, of course. Crazy day. Just shows how important mental health and stuff is around this platform. A lot of people chatting Breeze. I don't know if you saw his tweet, what he was saying, man. But look, we're joined here with the co-host, Matt, officially the co-host. He's replaced Ads, who's very unreliable on FIFA as well. But how are you, Matt, man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. It's been a roller coaster day today. I mean, with all the shit that's been happening, with Claude, obviously, rest in peace. I mean, normally with Arsenal, you can't. There's never anything good that comes out of Arsenal, but if we're honest, aftv, it was without them, we wouldn't be here. So rest in peace to Claude. Obviously, the way it's gone, it's not very nice. And with the stuff that happened to you, I think it's what's happening at Twitter. Twitter's a disgusting place, and it needs to be sorted.
Definitely, man. Kazilla, man, how are you, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. The sun's beaming off. You know what I'm saying? That juxtaposes everything that happened today. You know what I'm saying? Also, Claude, obviously, is legend. Like, there's memory in this YouTube scene will live on forever. Do you know what I'm saying? All the iconic moments and whatnot. So I just offer up my sincerest condolences to his family. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. And obviously, with you and what's going on with the Twitter and Twitter guys and whatnot, a lot of these guys are cowards, man. You know what I'm saying? In real life, they wouldn't have the same energy. You know what I'm saying? What kind of platform? What kind of platform is there like this where people can get onto you for having a different opinion than them? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's mostly these faceless like Avi accounts, man. These cowards, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So they just avoid and trying to like let go of any like responsibility, and you can't even pinpoint the person behind it. Do you know what I'm saying? So you got to take everything what they say with a pinch of salt nowadays. And the fact that you can't have your own opinion on that platform, and they'll try and take the piss out of you and cow you for having a different opinion to theirs, is just, it's not good, man. You know what I'm saying? The app is toxic, but what can you do?
100%, man. Obviously, we're going to be discussing later on in the stream about when a lot more people tuned in. But what said, very, very good words from Kazilla. But look, am I lagging a bit, or is it just okay at the moment?
No, that's cool.
That's cool.
It's cool. Okay, look, Haaland, I know we speak about it every single day, yeah. But Raiola has spoken to the Athletic. He has told that basically no business with United and no probably business with Guardiola. Isn't that a massive boost for Chelsea fans to try to sign? Sorry,
to put it nicely, no.
Huh?
I think no. If honest, it's just typical Mino Raiola chatting shit about different clubs. It's all to boost the clout, to boost the clicks. It was only last week or 2 weeks ago that Bild put out an article saying that Mino Raiola's claim that Chelsea and Dortmund are unlikely to do business because of the relationship between Tuchel and Dortmund. It's all that he's trying to build the hype for the transfer even more, because this is going to be one of the biggest transfers arguably in the 21st century. So he's trying to build as much hype as possible. 1 minute City will be in the race. Next minute Man United will be first. Then it'll be Chelsea. Then it'll be Real Madrid. Then it'll be next someone else. He's just going to keep building it, and it's all going to be fake news, nothing really to build on with it. I mean, if you make a point, we haven't had a good relationship with Mino Raiola, so technically we're out the race as well. But no, it's just Mino Raiola.
To be fair, there were reports saying that we're trying to fix it.
Yeah, there's reports saying we're trying to fix it, but And if you want a player that bad, you're not gonna have a fuss over the agent, and you're gonna try and rebuild the relationships. That's what Chelsea are trying to do. I guarantee City, even if Pep Guardiola has a thing with Mino Raiola, City will be doing their absolute best to try and make the relationship as good as it is. Even United with Pogba, they've had the massive Pogba situation, but they'll still try and get a relationship with Raiola if they want Haaland. I think City have got the slight edge. Chelsea are close behind, and I think everyone else is kind of outside chance.
Fair enough. It's always Matt that shows a bit of two sides and not as positive. Because is there any positivity out of what I just said?
Yeah, man. We can be optimistic as Chelsea fans. You know what I'm saying? If Mino's coming out and saying that, obviously you gotta take everything that Mino says with a pinch of salt. He's trying to look out for the best interests of himself mostly, and then secondly his client. So I think with Mino saying that, we can be optimistic. So I think if he does says that, and if his words do bear any truth, then the only two candidates that can go in for Ireland are us and Real Madrid. So yeah, so it's one of them ones where you just got to weigh up all the factors. Like Real Madrid are a bigger club than us, but we can offer for Haaland more money financially. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think with Aguero leaving, that striker spot is void for City. So they need to fill that. They need to fill that void as soon as possible. And Haaland's most likely the best replacement for Aguero. But if Mino's coming out and saying that, we don't know. It might just force the hand of United and City to pay a lot more money up front and try amend his wages. Do you know what I'm saying? So it could be fake news, it could be real news, but we gotta take everything that Mino says with a pinch of salt. You know what I'm saying? So right now we should be optimistic as Chelsea fans, because now that Mino's saying that these two guys are out of the picture, it gives us a little leeway to go up and scoop up Haaland.
Definitely, man. And everyone that's watching, apologies if I'm lagging or the audio's not in sync and stuff, Matt, because it'll take over for sure. Let's talk about Odegaard very quickly. Do you think it's just silly rumors? Apparently, Arsenal are worried that we can join the race and try sign him, man. Matt, what do you think of that?
I mean, I just don't understand this transfer. I don't see why we need an attacking midfielder in that role. I think we've got enough as it is. If any, I think Odegaard's done all right at Arsenal. Hasn't pulled up trees. I think it's just it'd be just pointless money to spend on a player when we've got people out on loan who are just as good, if not better. And we've already got loads of players in that position anyway. I think this is just a journalist trying to make up a story that isn't there. It's international break. There's not really much to talk about.
No, for sure. Because you're a big fan of him now.
Yeah, I personally think there's a play in Martin Odegaard. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I think he's like 21, 22, and he's already the captain of Norway when there's players like Haaland and that among the ranks. You know what I'm saying? So they look to him as being the natural leader in that. But taking away all the intangibles and talking about his footballing ability solely, he's a player, man. He's an absolute player. He looks like Arsenal's one of their key players. He's already come into the team and just dispensed Smith Rowe quickly. Do you know what I'm saying? And he was supposed to be the heir to Ozil, but the immediate heir in a sense. So when you have Martin Odegaard in your team, like it's a good thing. Like he can pick out a pass. He can drive with the ball, take on a couple players, isolate a couple players in the game. He's a player. So if we can get our hands on Odegaard, I would not be complaining at this point. I could see Matt's point saying that obviously there's not really an immediate need for him, and we've got talents in that position and elsewhere. But I think Odegaard only improves us. So I will not be averse to getting Martin Odegaard in Chelsea Football Club.
How much would you actually spend on that, though?
I think Real Madrid will ask for an excess of like 60 or 70 mil around that, or maybe even more, just because of how highly they regard him. But I'm not too sure about the figures, but based on his football ability, I think he can go for that money easily. So, and plus he's very young as well. So I think if Chelsea were to make the investment, the return on the investment would be a lot higher than we consider. Like I think we're going to get a lot more money for him if we take him, and then he just shows it for us, and then we sell him off. We get a lot more money back from him. But I can only see Odegaard improving this team, especially with the creativity that we lack in our offensive line.
Yeah, Matt,
I just think we've got bigger issues that we need to solve before spending 60, 70 million on Odegaard, that realistically it's not one of the prime concerns right now.
Yeah. I mean, is he worth that much in general? Obviously not for Chelsea, but in general, is he worth that much?
I think with the age of the player, as Kazilla said, he's going to get better and better. This is nowhere near his best yet, and I can understand maybe it's a bit much for himself, a player himself right now, but most players are overpriced right now in this world. So as he gets better, his price will continue to go up, hopefully. Unless he flops, which I don't think he will, then it should be quite a good buy, like Havertz. Havertz, all right, he was worth 72 million, but as long as he gets marginally better, if we ever sold him in 3-4 years' time, we'd probably get 120, 140 out of him.
Yeah, facts. No, 100%. I mean, I'm sure other clubs will be looking at Kai Havertz in the future. Obviously, Kazilla, I think you're not really a fan of Aguero, so we'll leave it last for you there. Matt, Aguero, man, he's officially obviously announced he'll be leaving Man City yesterday. I can't remember if you spoke about it. We did, right?
Yeah, a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah, what do you make of it? I was saying Haaland, Lukaku, Aguero, Havertz, 3 main strikers next season. What do you make of that?
I mean, if we're still getting Haaland and you want to just put Aguero as a backup on the bench option, all right, yeah, fine. Go get him. Sell Tammy, sell Giroud, have Havertz as a third choice. But I'm worried that it's going to be we get Aguero, Man City get Haaland, and then it's gonna be like, you know how Giroud, we went and bought Giroud. Yeah, it's gonna be that trio again. And I know we got a lot out of Giroud, and Giroud turned out to be a really big success for us. But I still think we lost out by not getting Aubameyang. If we got Aubameyang, we would have won trophies in between now and then, because he would have took our club to a next level. And it would show a lot about the board's ambition if they went and got Aguero instead of Haaland and let Haaland go to Man City. It would show that we don't have the ambition to go for titles anymore, and we accept. I'm not going to say the word mediocrity, because Aguero is a world-class player and he's just getting to the end of his career. But it would show that our standards have dropped and we're not ready to challenge for titles.
I'm just thinking, why did we sign, obviously no disrespect to Giroud and that, but why did we sign those kind of players in those years? But obviously last year we've changed it and signed top quality players who were basically on form at the time. Why do you think it's changed, Matt?
I mean, I think the board have realised that we've got to put the money in. I think but you got to the end of Conte's years and everyone was starting to get on the idea of board out. And it was only that the transfer ban came in, and I think they've looked at it and gone, we need to start at least backing managers to a point, because otherwise we're not going to get this. We're not going to get titles. We're going to drop down like Arsenal are. And then the fans are going to be on Chelsea's board straight away. Yeah. I mean, I know they can throw managers behind it and throw them in between, but that only lasts for a certain amount of time. I think Lampard kind of gave the board an ultimatum. They had to back Lampard. If they didn't back Lampard, they would have been absolutely royally screwed, because the fans would if Lampard didn't get the players he did and he had the season that he had now, no one would be going at Lampard. Or people would be like, oh, maybe he's not good enough. But the main people would have gone at the board, and it would have been so bad that I think Marina would have been gone. And I think Roman would be looking at it like, fuck, what am I going to do? I also think it's secondary because of Roman not being in the country anymore. I think for a moment of time, he kind of worried about putting his finances into a club that he can't even visit. That's why we're not building the stadium.
The question marks were asked at the time, I remember, 100%. Because what do you think, man? Obviously, you're not for Aguero, but would it be the worst thing in the world if you joined?
I mean, if we don't get a starting striker and we get Aguero, then it'd be the worst thing in the world, because I'm not really a fan of Aguero right now. He's had a great career. He's one of the greats in Premier League history. Do you know what I'm saying? But obviously, it's that time. It's that time, and he's not the same player anymore. He's been benched. He's been benched by Pep Guardiola, and Jesus has become their first choice striker. And he's not even their first choice striker. Like their first plan of action, Man City is to play a false nine with Bernardo Silva, either Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling, the false nine, or even KDB. So you can just see that Aguero is not of the standard of that ilk anymore, and it's the drop offs. You know what I'm saying? So if he was really that good, and he'd still be that good, you'll be persistent with him still as their main striker. So right now, I don't think he's the option at all, and I think that he doesn't even have the qualities that we're looking for in a striker in this Tuchel system. He won't be able to press, he won't really be playing towards, he won't be playing with the back towards his goal. Do you know what I'm saying? He's going to be looking in behind the area. Do you know what I'm saying? Trying to get in behind, or maybe even trying to tap in a goal within the box. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I don't want to take anything away from Aguero's finishing, but I just feel like the club's heading in a different direction, and we're not Arsenal, man. We don't take other team scraps. Do you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so we need to look towards a younger striker, a Haaland, or maybe a striker that's entering his prime in Romelu Lukaku, or maybe even Bamford. But you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I don't think Aguero is that guy, and I'd be so angry if he came into the club and we don't even get like a Haaland or a Lukaku. I could understand if we got a Haaland or Lukaku and then we could just get like Aguero as a replacement for Giroud as a secondary striker. I wouldn't be too against that. But if we persist as Aguero as our main striker, then I'm not going to be happy, man.
I mean, let's just put it this way. If we got Aguero and let City go to Haaland without any fight, I would, in the summer, I'd start my board agenda, and I wouldn't. I wouldn't stop. I'd go for Marina's head, and to a point, I'd go for Roman's head, because they're not passionate about the club at that point. If you're going for, no offense to Aguero, but scraps from another club, we're not heading the right direction. The only way we're going is down, and it gets to that point if they're not confident, if they don't want to put the right money into the club where it wants to be, then they shouldn't be at the club. At the end of the day, the only people who you can't sack are the fans. And if the board are not going to put their funds in, not put their money where their mouth is, then it's over. They've got to go, unfortunately. And I think it's hard to do it, but I'd be putting the agenda out there because I'm fed up of throwing managers under the bus for it.
What if we do actually go for him, but he picks City?
Don't get me wrong, if we put the effort in and we just don't get him, then fair enough. But if it's a case of we just sign Aguero early in the transfer window and then the Haaland thing goes dead and he just goes to City, then for me it's done.
Would you make of Bamford, man?
Don't make me laugh.
I've been waiting for both of you to talk about Bamford, really.
I mean, I love Cazilla. I think he speaks a lot of sense, but to get Bamford in is just mediocrity at its best. even as a second or third choice striker, it's mediocrity at its best. I know Cazilla is 100% probably trolling and trying to get reaction out of people.
He's not. But he just hates Werner. He wants Werner gone, but he's serious about Bamford.
Well, I'll let him.
Calvert-Lewin is fine. Calvert-Lewin's good. Haaland's good. Lukaku's good. Balletti's 50-50.
Does Balletti who does Balletti play for now?
Torino. But obviously he's been a down year so far for him. But last season he was on fire, man. He was shelling it off, bro. Like, yeah, I think he may have been in the top 3 or top 4 highest goal scorers in the Serie A. It was like Immobile, Ronaldo, Balletti was up there. So Balletti, for me, he'd be a good signing. But I'm saying my whole point of like getting the Bamford or these players is the fact that I feel like the board should be scouting, man. The same way we got Drogba, the same way we found Makelele, the same way we found players like Maluda. It's a good scouting networks, man. So I think there's more. There's more out there in these type of leagues. Not lesser leagues, but obviously the Premier League is actually the main league for us because that's all. That's mostly what we watch. But I feel like there's a lot more talent out there that the eye really doesn't see. So I feel like Marina, the board, Petr Bruce Buck, all these guys they need to hire a good scout network and try and find these hidden gems inside these leagues. At the end of the day, like there was a player that I was reading up a scout report on. He's called Silas Wamangatuka from Stuttgart. He's a player, man. He's a player, and you can delve into his stats, like the eye test and all of that, man. I'm just saying, like in terms of like the wider league and whatnot, there's a lot more talent out there. And with Bamford, I feel like Bamford, he'd be perfect for us in this Tuchel system. Like I feel like his name's not appealing on the eye and whatnot, and he might be a mediocre player to some, but I feel like he'll slot perfectly in the system. So at the end of the day, I feel like players like Werner are really system-based players. They can't really produce anything without the system being heavily rigid and focused upon their strengths. But I feel like players like Bamford, if you play him in the 9, he'll do a job for you. If you play him in the hole, he'll do a job for you. Even if you play him out on the left, he'll do a job for you. You'll be able to link the play. And he's got a wonder of a left foot, and his right foot's good too. So I feel like Patrick Bamford wouldn't be a bad side, and especially for a cheap option at the end of the day. I'm not saying we should go for Bamford for like 60, 70, even 80 million, which is, you know what I'm saying? Who would want to do that at the end of the day? But I'm saying if we can get Bamford for a cheeky 20 to 30 million, why not?
But as a first choice or backup?
Whether first choice or backup, it's. I don't mind. I don't mind.
I don't understand. I understand. Yes, he's having a good season, but I think sometimes you got to look at it. The way Leeds play, as in they just go all out attack, feeding everything towards Bamford. Obviously, you got players like Rafinha who do their thing, but Leeds are a very attacking team. So of course, their striker is going to get a bundle of goals. And I think this is only the only time Bamford's ever shone in the Premier League. Even in the Championship, let's just make the comparison with one of our own, Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham was doing better than Bamford in the Championship. If you compare, Tammy Abraham's doing just as good, if not better, and he's 3 or 4 years younger. So technically, if you're talking about going into someone's prime, surely it's the better reason just that you should rather keep Tammy Abraham than spend extra money on Bamford, a player we got rid of specifically because he wasn't good enough. I just don't see why. If he comes to the third choice and wants to sit on the bench, come on for a couple of appearances and make an impact like Giroud, then maybe I could slightly understand. But I just to say as a first choice, I think it's just, again, I think there would be 12, 15 strikers that I'd put ahead of Bamford easily from multiple leagues, Premier League, or I'd make the point. I'd rather someone like Ollie Watkins. If you talk about Premier League players, about Premier League proven and all that, Danny Ings, Ollie Watkins, I'd choose them, Dominic Calvert-Lewin over Bamford. I think Bamford's a player that it shouldn't be considered by Chelsea. I know he's having a good season, but what you got to think, it's the only season he's ever performed in the Premier League, and it's in that lead system.
That's a fair point. You know what I'm saying? I agree with everything you said. But with Bamford, I'm saying not necessarily a first choice striker, maybe a second option. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying if we can get Bamford for a relatively very cheap price within the 20 to 40 million, you know what I'm saying, region for Bamford, I wouldn't not take him. I wouldn't take him. Do you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't not take him. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if we can get Bamford for a very cheap price, like say for example, we can sell Bakayoko for 20 million, and then we can just reinvest in our attack and just buy Bamford, and he could play for us off the bench or maybe as a second choice striker. I'd be happy with it. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that he's not really the best like name that we could go for as our marquee striker or our marquee signing to be our striker. But at the end of the day, if we can get him as a second choice option or maybe even a third choice option, I wouldn't be opposed to it. So yeah, man, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but then you could look at the point of we've got kids on loan at the moment. Amada Broja is a prime example. Maybe not exactly ready to light it up at Chelsea, but a year or two, if he gets another good loan somewhere, either in the Premier League Championship, He could be our option again, who, if you think about it, is zero money to spend. I think I just don't, especially because I don't think Bamford would go as cheap as 20 million. I know Leeds are not exactly a big club, but especially if financial fair play is now scrapped, you're going to get clubs that are just going to be like, oh, you can spend a lot of money, so I'll put a massive price tag. They're going to want money. It's the Premier League. He's an English player as well, so you've got the English tax. I think it'd be upwards of 40, 50 million if Chelsea was seriously interested in him.
It's a bit mad. It's a bit mad. Did anyone here say Bamford 40 mil?
I said 20 to 40 mil, but like even 40 mil will be pushing it. So if you can get like under that price, it'll be perfect.
All right, Matt Kazilla, if you lot can do me a favor, you can give the link to Father and Ryan if possible, because I'm not on Twitter and like that. But big up to Matt and Cos. It is a snake for not inviting ads and Father. Shameless. Personally, I don't think we can guarantee to get Haaland. Father, I know it's you, man. 100% has to be you. What about Brojo, guys?
Player. It's a player, man.
Yeah, as I said, I think he's a really good talent. Obviously, I don't think he's ready to step in this season, maybe. Obviously, he's done well at the test, but he's still, 18, 19, hasn't really done it in a big league. He's only had one season of men's football. So I think maybe end of next season, you look at him and go, can he do a job? Which I think would be perfect, especially if Giroud's gone.
Same with
Tammy
Mount.
Abraham's probably gone. Yeah, but the difference is Mount went to Derby and did it. Whereas...
Does that test his order?
Yeah, but that's what I think. You need to give him another loan, personally. I don't think you can drop him straight into it now.
Third choice, you want to give it to him?
I mean, if he wants to play third choice, but I think he needs, at his age, he needs to get game time and learn. He's still got things that he needs to improve on, but I think if you sent him to a championship side, or if even a Southampton, Leeds United, yeah, say Bamford goes somewhere, and then you play Broja there, he'd learn a lot, and then you take him back to Chelsea, and then he could be a second choice.
Fair enough.
I would take welfare. Antibiotic from my infection.
Yo, you got tunes on?
Oh, sorry. That's my alarm.
This guy is too funny, man.
Yeah. I had to take this for my medicine. So, yeah.
How are you now, man? You feeling better?
A little bit, but walking wise, a bit slow. I can't even walk properly. Like I can't.
What do you
Like
know?
Some veggies with kebab-ish and onions and that, lettuce, tomato. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, because I can't eat sweets because I have to avoid sweets and rice and flours food for at least like 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. Ryan, you there? Nah, he probably takes another 5 minutes,
Yeah,
man.
bro, what you saying, man?
Oh, yeah. Where you at?
Ryan, you bugging, fam.
Bugging out. Mobile hotspot, please.
Mobile hotspot.
No, he gets better connection with hotspot. Generally.
Why you want to use hotspot, by the way?
His internet probably ain't working, man. But look,
Anyone been to the beach,
Man,
though?
that's it.
Anyone have been to the beach today? Honestly,
Nah, I went for a walk.
might be tomorrow.
I agree with Matt. Another loan move at a lower Prem team as his first or second choice in the season after he come back to Chelsea. Who in the Premier League will take him, though?
Most lower league clubs, I guess.
Arsenal. I don't know. I'm just saying. Like you said, which Premier League club?
you could look at any of the promoted sides that come up. They'll probably they always look for strikers to bring in to score more goals because at the end of the day, that's what they need to do. Again, Leeds, Bamford. They've got Bamford, but who else they got behind that? Really, Tyler Roberts now plays in midfield, so they don't really have a striker beyond that. Southampton, if Danny Ings has been linked to Manchester City, so if Danny Ings left, they've got Che Adams, but apart from that, they would need a striker. Fulham, they play with Mitrovic, but he doesn't really play too much more, so I think he could go. There's plenty of strikers that would be able to go.
You in your hotspot yet?
Nah, I just moved closer to the internet. My problem ain't the internet. It's just whenever I'm coming on, whenever it's bad, I'm normally in the furthest room away from like the actual box. You get me? So that's why hotspot works better. But I'm right next to the internet now, innit? So it should be better.
Cool. Why do all Mali's say you get me?
I'm not Mali, bro.
Oh, so wait, where you from?
Now I'm from 2 countries in that, Eritrea and Ethiopia.
Oh, like
But they're
Lewis.
next to Mali, innit? They're all East Africa.
And Lewis from there.
Yeah, Lewis is from Ethiopia, innit? And I'm from there as well, but I'm also from Eritrea as well, innit? So.
Oh, okay. Who's Stamford?
I assume it means Bamford.
Oh,
Mascot.
This.
I
You know what's
think the
mad when you
mascot-
put 3 dots at the end?
that's what I'm
By the
saying.
way, this fixture's already been rescheduled. So we
Yeah,
got
what's
Brighton-
changed? What's changed?
Brighton on Tuesday, 8 o'clock, and then 5:30 p.m. kickoff.
When was the Brighton game initially? On the Saturday?
And the Saturday, because we got Man City semi-final, they had to reschedule.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
big
yeah.
game, man.
What other game was moved? There was another game moved.
Not much. Palace 5:30, Porto. I think you meant different venue. The Champions League will take place in Seville.
Yeah, I'll probably talk about that in tomorrow's video still. But yeah, good point. Yeah, double leg in Seville, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that properly. That's could be a disadvantage for Chelsea. I might be a bit negative about Chelsea going through about that now. Obviously, I'm not as positive as I was before. What else we got? Oh yeah, Farrell. What about Aguero, man? You take Aguero?
For experience-wise, yes, but my problem is wages. Like how long?
But he's
is the
free.
wait
He's
gonna
free
be?
though. It's wages, isn't it?
I know it's free. But is he again? Like he's been here for 10 years already, and he has been living in this climate for a while. And my question is, in his position, like, would he go somewhere else rather than Premier League club?
Why though? He might want to win Champions League with Chelsea or something. You know, we got Thiago Silva to decrease his wages. You know,
I know he wants a trophy like Champions League and that, but I don't think like he's gonna be another player like the likes of Messi and that. Eventually, like South American players want to go out somewhere outside outside Man City, especially like Aguero. He might be looking for options like USA, Inter Miami FC,
yeah.
MLS, lots of MLS clubs, LA Galaxy, New York Red Bulls. I mean, there's loads of options. Or he could go back to Argentina to go his boyhood club again. Or it might sound crazy, he might go to Barcelona to reunite with Messi.
I was going to say, does he go back to Spain? Whether it was go back to Atletico or go back to Barcelona.
Or Atletico.
Yeah. I don't think he can go Barca.
I mean, who have Barca really got up front?
Suarez, the best striker in the world, apparently.
Ansu Fati.
La Liga
Like a winger.
leaders, Atletico Madrid, Luis Suarez, so many top scorer, I think, in the La Liga, I think it was at the time against Chelsea.
Vinicius.
0 goals in Champions League this campaign. I was saying that, we're going to destroy them, but everyone on the panel was against me. People getting onto me. Ryan was getting onto me. But it is what it is, isn't it?
Bro,
Man?
I never got onto you. What is this? I just said I felt like at the time you were a little bit too overconfident.
Yeah.
Was I
Like,
though?
bro,
I don't.
I'll say
Yeah,
I got
man.
it wrong in it, and I'm happy and everything. But you gotta look at it with context, bro. What's it called? We just drew to Southampton. We've been with Tuchel for like a month, and Atletico on top of the league, and they had very good players, Joao Felix and Suarez, bro. At the time, it sounded to me like you're being overconfident, bro.
That's a good point.
Context matters, G.
I just think when it comes to Europe, anything can happen. That's why I was a bit confident, personally. But I
That's
get
why
what
I
you're
think if we
saying.
get to the European final, you get me, then anything can happen there as well, man.
Well said for sure. What do you think, Roman Aguero?
Nah, just no. Like, the thing is, how could we banter Arsenal in it? Like, for buying Willian and Louise and all these players who are at the back end of their career, who just want the money and that because they're not interested in football anymore. And then get Aguero. Like, we got Thiago Silva, but
Aguero's a big difference, you know.
I know I get that, but nah, like it would be good as like a third choice striker, but I feel like the wages he demand because he probably just want to chill now, innit? It would probably be like we could probably get a better third choice. We could probably get a better third choice striker, or we could probably just keep Giroud for one more year. And Aguero, yeah, I think he should just maybe bake off at Spain or Argentina, innit? Like, he's been one of the best goal scorers we've ever seen, probably the best striker this decade in the Premier League, and one of the best strikers ever in the Premier League. He should just take off Argentina. I don't think we should get him.
I'm really have a doubt about him. Giroud is going to stay at this club for much longer.
Giroud,
I don't think it's going to get extra. Well, like, here's the thing about Giroud. Yeah, Giroud can be one of the best super sub in this club, but the way that he's aging right now, I don't see us keep holding of him for much longer. The reason being,
I think you gotta remember, if he goes to the Euros, which he probably will because the manager really likes him over other strikers. When he comes back, that's gonna be his last international tournament. He won't go to the World Cup. He'll be like 35, 36, and he's a striker. He'll probably come back, and he'll probably, if we keep him for one more year, I don't think he'll demand too much high wages. He won't demand high playing time. Obviously, we have to play him every now and then. We can play him in the Carabao Cup games, FA Cup games, and if you think about it, he's going to offer a different dimension. Because say we keep Werner, which we probably will, and so we sell Abraham, which we probably will as well, and say we get our dream striker, which is a Haaland. You got Haaland, who's that complete striker, who's that first choice striker. He's going to play most of the games or most of your big games, and then you got Timo Werner, who he's suited to running in behind and counter attacks. And then you got Kai Havertz, who's kind of the false nine, who can kind of drop deep and create things from there and make runners to go in behind from there. And then and then you got Giroud, who can And then you got Giroud, who can hold the ball up, and he's just a different dimension to all of them. So like keeping Giroud, if he goes in it, like I don't really care, I'll be honest. But if he stays, then I wouldn't mind it, because he's gonna offer a different dimension. He won't demand too much high playing time, and he won't demand high wages.
Yeah, because what do you think, man? Giroud, keep him, sell him?
Yeah, man, Aguero stinks, bro. Like, I'm seeing man in the comments saying about it'll be a flipping class striker. Man, wake up, bro. Wake up, man. We're not 2012 anymore. It's not 2015. Smell the coffee and wake up, bro. Like, this is 2021, man. I'm tired of this BS now, man. I'm tired of this, bro. We don't need Aguero right now. I don't want him at the club. If you guys want him at the club, then I don't know what to say for you. You probably guys are the same guys that support Timo Werner and that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what to say to you guys.
Quickly. Is Lewandowski injured? Apparently he's injured.
He's out for 10 days.
Ligament.
10 days. Yeah.
Knee ligament.
Oh, I mean, I don't wish anything proper or bad on him or anything, but I thought maybe he might be out in Champions League or something. You know what I'm saying?
It could be.
Yeah, it could be, but unlikely, man. So what? You want Giroud over Aguero, Cazilla?
Yeah, man, 100, man. Giroud's my guy, man. Big game player. He turns up, you know what I'm saying? Countless memories he's given us, you know what I'm saying? We can only reward him for another maybe extension, one more year.
Sevilla.
We can give him like
Atletico.
we can give Giroud a good send off, being a 7 for the club. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'll give Giroud another. Yeah, we don't need a good man. Less of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? We can invest the wage money into a different person. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's a no for me from Aguero. No way.
So no from you. Okay, Matt, Giroud.
I think keep him for another year. Let him have his contract extension, then probably retire next season. Giroud goes out, in comes Brozier.
Okay. Ryan, what were you gonna say?
I don't think we should be like, what's it called? I think if Giroud wants to stay, he can stay. But say, for instance, Tammy stays and he wants to stay, even though I feel like he should leave because that's what's best for his career. But if he does stay, then I think, what's it called? I don't think we have to keep Giroud. I feel like it'll be nice. And if he wants to stay and we don't want to get, and we need a third choice striker or a second choice striker, it'd be nice to have him. And I'd definitely extend his contract by 1 more year. But if it comes to a situation where it's like, what's it called? Abraham wants to stay or something like that, then yeah, I don't think Giroud's unsellable. I feel like it would be nice to extend his contract, but what's it called? If we have to let him go, then we have to let him go.
It's tough, man. It's tough. I mean, I'm just trying to think of the 3 most realistic strikers that will be here next season. I just don't see Tammy or Giroud staying for some reason. I think we're gonna have a twist of a season next season.
I think one of
To
them.
be
will
fair
go,
though,
one of
yeah,
them will stay.
Sadiq.
You're bugging.
Yeah.
To be
Matt,
fair
what you
though,
say?
yeah.
Oh, go on. Yeah, his connection's bugging out, I think.
Bloody Virgin Media. Virgin Media is soft. Get BT. BT's good.
It's on mobile hotspot, bro. Matt, what are you saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think one of them will leave, but I don't think both will leave. I think if Tammy's voicing himself that he wants to go, I think Giroud will look at it and go, "Well, I'm actually gonna get. I'll probably get the game time still, even if Haaland comes in." So I think he'll stay for another year. I think Giroud's only got a year in top league football until I think he'll retire at the end of next season, wherever he goes.
Yeah. I mean, you said Tammy's going to go Brighton or something, man. If we said
I didn't say Brighton. I think he can go better than Brighton.
Oh, some people said Brighton. I can't remember who said Brighton. I think you don't can remember who said it, but anyone remember who said it?
Nah, bro. Brighton ain't even a violation, bro. Like, they create a lot of chances.
Yeah, but I think he can go.
better.
They create a lot
right.
of chances. They don't take.
Father, where do you think Tammy should go if he leaves?
Aston Villa.
Okay, but they got Ollie Watkins there.
Well, if he wants to be a second striker, because I think, like if you look at Aston Villa's squad depth here, they got huge, and I think with Tammy addition to that team, it might sound crazy, but I think they're going to be a great team.
What future top 8 team?
Nah, I feel like
Consistent.
if Tammy leaves, he has to be first choice. Man. There's no point in leaving.
I think the reason he wants to leave Chelsea is because he wants first choice football. So I don't think he'd go to a Villa to play behind Watkins. If that
Is he good enough to be first team for Chelsea?
Yeah, that's the problem. Is he good enough to be a first choice in any team?
Yeah, for Chelsea, is he good enough? Because Zilla adds, everyone's saying that he is.
If you're getting Haaland in, no.
What? So if we're not getting Haaland,
Well, it depends on who you're bringing in.
okay. So I'll give you a scenario. Aguero, Giroud, Tammy.
Well, I think Tammy would get a lot of games because I think Aguero would be on the treatment table half the season.
Mate, if we get Aguero, Tammy, and Giroud, I don't know what would happen. I don't think.
If you're gonna bring a man like Bamford in, then yeah, Tammy's gonna be number one at that point. But
Kazilla, man, why not?
I could tell Matt just said that to trigger Kazilla.
Bro, you know, it's Matt's fair points, man. I agree with everything he says, but for me, it's just Bamford. I like him, man. I don't know. It's just a secret. Like, I just like him as a football player, man. he's just that underrated guy. Like no one really talks about him. You know what I'm saying? He's not really no name, but he's just slapping goals in for Leeds, man. Something about him I like. But at the end of the day, like I think out of Giroud, Aguero, and Tammy, for me, Giroud's number one. I'd go Tammy, then go Aguero. I don't want Aguero, bro. Like
Wow, Tammy.
why? What's the
Aguero.
point, fam? But at least Tammy's young and there's some more like there's an upside to it. But Aguero's washed, bro. Like if we're getting Aguero, we might as well drag Drogba back or something, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like Dilly can lead the line for us, but we don't need Aguero at the end of the day, man. And somebody's fans just give me a headache. They don't know they don't know what's best for the club. Telling me they want Aguero and that, man.
Father, what do you think of Bamford, man?
Bamford in this team.
You got him in your FIFA team, right?
No, I don't think. No, I didn't get Bamford. I get Bamford, but I'm not using it in my FIFA team. I use him as a fodder for my SBC. But if you look at Bamford in this team, I just think again, if we do get another big major player, I don't think Bamford could be the first team in the team sheet, because I would think he might become a third option striker again behind Werner.
Come on, guys, man.
Do you know
That's
what?
what we want.
I've got a little backstory to why I don't trust Bamford in this side ever.
Go.
You know when he went on loan to Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Basically, he was very close to going to West Ham, and my mate's a West Ham fan. He was like, "Oh, good job we didn't get Bamford. He's a shit player." And then I backed Bamford. I said he's going to score 15 goals at Palace this season, and then I ended up making a massive bet on him with my mate, and he scored 2 goals in that season.
It was a bit hard, though.
He didn't even get first choice at fucking Palace.
That's what I'm saying. It's difficult.
Yeah, I
Come
can
on,
say the
like
same.
Who did
Benteke.
they have? Benteke.
Yeah, but Benteke was fucking shit back then.
I
He
can
scored
see,
against
bro,
Chelsea, though.
You know, I
Oh
can
yeah,
say the
but
same
every shit striker scores against Chelsea.
bro, I could say the same for Ruben, man. Everyone was talking about Ruben like he was the second coming of flipping. I didn't even know who, man. Under Surrey, he went to Fulham and then
Nah,
you see what
Ruben's
happened.
different. You got
To be
an
fair,
injury,
no.
bro.
He
don't
done
even
good
know
at
Ruben.
Palace. He came Chelsea. He done well, bro. But that's probably his best Chelsea period.
But now Ruben, look at him now. Like,
Yeah, he got
doesn't
a
even-
bad injury, man. Not his fault,
Injury.
man.
doesn't
Bamford
even
didn't
score
get an
for
injury. Bamford just flopped.
Bamford is like certain people on FIFA Pro clubs. Just a
Cold,
GNA.
Bro,
cold.
I
man.
can only dream of what Ruben Loftus-Cheek would have done, man, if he didn't get that injury. Ruben Loftus-Cheek on the sorry before he got that injury. Oh my dear, I think Tuchel would love. Yeah, I think he'd love him as well, man. Like
Sorry,
maybe
the
not
goal.
with his back three, but once we reverted to a back four, next season, I just don't think Ruben will hit the heights. That's what annoys me. One stupid friendly was probably ruined his whole Chelsea career.
You know what I
And
want to see come back? Conor Gallagher. I want to see what he has to offer, man. I feel like there's a player in there. I feel like
Who can he come in for, though?
Just
Mason
bring him in.
Mount?
No. I just want
Mason Mount, yes.
Nah,
Yes.
just bring him in, man. I like Conor Gallagher. He has a bit about him, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how he does for the team.
yeah, to be fair, I'd like to actually see him like maybe not starting obviously, but like in the squad, because you got like Jorginho who will probably leave, will probably get a new DM, and then you're probably looking at the new DM, Kovacic, Kante, Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, but Kai Havertz is gonna play like kind of up, and then there's a space, obviously Billy Gilmore, but I feel like Billy Gilmore will probably I think he should go on loan. I think there might be a space for Conor Gallagher just to be in the squad, maybe see how he does for the first 6 months. Give him a couple like easy Carabao Cup games, FA Cup games, and see how he does. Because yeah, why not, man?
I like him, man.
Conor Gallagher,
He
yeah.
look cold, man.
Charlton, right? Who else?
Yeah.
Charlton and West Brom now.
West Brom.
Brom,
West Brom.
That's it, yeah. Charlton previously under Lee Bowyer, I think it was. He was a decent player.
Is he at Leighton
Well
Orient?
done, man.
Let me check. Was he at?
Was it Lane? No, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was Charlton. Unless I'm wrong.
it was Charlton.
That'd be embarrassing if I got it wrong.
Nah, it was
Interesting
Charlton.
point. Ryan said Billy Gilmore loan, Matt. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think he should have gone on loan out in January, but it's one of them things. I think he'll go out on loan. He's got So he's at that age again. He's like Brozier. He's got plenty of time to go out on loan, get some first team football, and then come back to the club in the next season or two. And then there'll be better players.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, go on.
I think with Billy Gilmore, I feel like if he goes out on loan to a Premier League team, because I think he's good enough to be in a Premier League team, between maybe upper relegation to, I'd say, mid-table, and then he came back, I think he developed his game even more with first choice football, because I feel like Billy Gilmore's probably got, I'd probably say, next to Callum, Hudson-Odoi, and probably Reece James, I think he's got one of the brightest futures at the club, because you can just tell with Billy Gilmore, man, like he always wants to pass forward. Like even in that Sheffield United game, he was the only one probably in that team that was trying to take risks apart from Pulisic. He was trying to pass forward. It was just other teammates weren't on the same wavelength. So I really like Billy Gilmore, man, but I just feel like he needs that experience at a Premier League club. When he does, I feel like he's going to be a top player for Chelsea, man.
Yeah, Father was saying sell him. I don't know why, but
Who? Billy Gilmore?
yeah, he said early in the season when Lampard got sacked.
You're a joker. I never said that.
You did. You
That was
drunk, bro.
ads. That was ads.
Oh yeah, it was ads. Yeah. My bad. I don't know why he just threw ads in the bus, but it is what it is, isn't it? What do you think of Billy Gilmore, Father man?
Billy Gilmore, I don't think like we're gonna loan him out. The reason being like maybe it's because like I fear that if we loan him out of the club, yes, the positive thinking that the fact that you can, get him a more game time under his belt. But I just think again, if you go to another club that is fighting for survival, I'm not sure whether he's going to develop after when he come back into the first team. And the fact that Billy Gilmore, for me, is a precious asset. It's like Mason Mount. I mean, if you loan him out or if you let him go, I think we might have some issue in our transfer fee or something like that. But yeah,
It's gonna be quite interesting, man. These guys are dying for us to speak about the Celtic youngster.
Edward who?
Edward.
The reason why I haven't spoken about it is because I've not seen any links or anything. This is just general debate for you guys thinking we should sign him, but there's no actual talk about Chelsea interested or anything. So that's why we don't mention about it, guys, man. I'm sure very, very good potential. It's from the PSG academy.
Bring up that Owen Wilson comment. We need to treat Gilmore like Foden. I agree with that.
This guy changed subject straight away back to Gilmore. Joker. Foden. I mean, Foden didn't play immediately, innit? He came on second season?
Foden, yeah, he was put into the team gradually by Pep, and then this season's where he's probably played the most. But I feel like with Foden, yeah, he plays in an attacking role, so you can kind of trying to ease him into the team. But I feel like with Gilmore, if he really wants to play centre mid for Chelsea, which he probably will in the future, I think a loan will suit him really well, because if he's playing week in, week out at probably one of the most important positions on the pitch, if it's not the most important, then I think that will benefit him a lot more than playing the Carabao Cup games, the FA Cup games, and the odd Premier League game. So I feel like midfield is one of the most important positions on the pitch, and I feel like Billy Gilmore needs experience and needs first team football in his position. So yeah, I wouldn't really treat him like Foden.
Yeah. No. What do you guys think, Kazula, man? What do you think of that? What you just said?
In terms of Foden and Gilmore, the comparison, yeah, man. I got a soft spot for Billy Gilmore, man. I think he's a player. Like he's got a lot of talent. He can move the ball quickly. You know what I'm saying? He passes forward. He's and he's slight in his frame, so he doesn't really rely on his physical attributes, more of his ball playing than his technical ability, which I love in players. Like he's not really off the ball player like Mount, but he's got like enough potential to that we could see him make like the upper echelon at this club. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think we should keep Billy under like cotton wool in the sense we should wrap him up, and then we should like give him we should like pick and choose where he should play. And we shouldn't stunt his growth by playing him week in and week out. We should give him the opportunity. So we should baby him in a sense. But I still feel like Billy Gilmore, the upside to him is just it's indescribable, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's going right to the top as well as Hudson-Odoi, Reece James, just to name a few, Kyle Tomori. All these guys, they're going straight to the top. So I feel like Gilmore is one of our prized assets, and I think we should baby him, as Father said, like same way Foden, as City done with Foden.
Yeah, Matt, what do you think about Foden and Gilmore, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think on the basis of Foden coming into the team and being slowly eased, I think it's easier to do that for an attacking midfielder in the sense that when you make a sub, it's natural that you just bring on an attacking midfielder in the last 20 minutes and then they get game time like that. Whereas Billy in his position in centre mid, I think you can't really just throw him on into a game with 20 minutes to go. It's harder, especially when you're part of that spine of the team. You need to kind of keep that quite solid throughout the whole game. So I think for him, I think the best thing for a young player is to get first team minutes and a lot of it. I think that will be the best for Billy Gilmore to have. Yes, Foden's done well in the aspect of slowly bringing into the team, but not many youngsters do well in that kind of way of adapting to a player. I think you have to look at certain players. I think Gilmore would be best to go into even someone like a Southampton. That will do really well for him in the way Hasenhuttl plays. And if he gets his game up to a next level, I think a lot that he can work on is his physicality. If he can get his physicality right, he's going to be a top player in the Premier League, because I think players like him are needed in the Premier League. There's not many around.
Yeah, why do you sound like Harry Redknapp there, man?
I don't know.
Harry Redknapp.
Billy Gilmore doesn't seem English, fam. He just feels Spanish, fam. It's mad.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah.
You don't get many. I don't know. We haven't got that. Huh?
He's not English.
Right. Yeah,
He's
British.
Scottish.
British. I think but Billy
Scottish,
Gilmore, fam, it feels like he's been playing in the league. Bro, I love Billy Gilmore, man. The guy, he's got a mad potential, man.
Oh, Billy.
Bro, Billy Gilmore's game reminds me of Ryan's football analysis, man. It's just top level. You know what I'm saying? Top levels. They got potential to go to the very top. It's gonna be very interesting, guys. Look, we're gonna push it to about an hour. We'll do one more question. Father, I'll let you ask a question, man, for the panel.
What's the season going to be look like, gents?
Huh?
What's the season going to be look like, gents?
Oh, the
After
ending.
the international break. Yeah. How do you get it?
Champions League winners. Champions League winners. You agree? Disagree?
Crazy.
You agree?
I'm gonna join it. Champions
Because it was
League
gonna say finish
FA
fifth,
FA
get
Cup
dumped out by
semi-final.
Porto.
Nah, that's ads, man. Ads is Mr. Negative.
No, I mean
Straw.
Champions League definitely finalists in my opinion. I'm gonna go with it. Definitely finalists, but I think in the final one leg, yeah, man. Even if it's Bayern, man, you never know. It could be Chelsea, Dortmund.
Yeah, Sadiq, you know what the
Worst
mad thing
case.
is, yeah? Sadiq, you know what the mad thing is before Matt comes in? Do you know someone called Euro Expert?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's it called? Obviously, I had him on my channel just before I joined you guys in it, pre-recorded vid. And we're speaking about like at the end how far Chelsea can go, and I was speaking to him about the Champions League. And then he was like, he doesn't feel Bayern or what's it called? I think he said he didn't feel Bayern are as strong, and that's because of their defense, their leaking goals. And he was like to me, if they got the ball, they're most likely gonna score because they're very good in attack and midfield. But he said they are very, very, very leaky in defense at the moment. And he said he backs City to go more. he backed City more than Bayern to go to the Champions League final. So that was interesting to me, you know.
Man City and Bayern.
No, Man City instead of Bayern, because everyone thinks it's
Yeah,
going to be
instead of Bayern,
Bayern,
yeah.
and then so that was interesting, man.
But what I'm saying to you is, Dortmund can beat City and PSG can beat Bayern, bro. I'm saying that can actually happen.
Chelsea versus Dortmund final.
Listen,
and
guys, don't sleep on
Haaland.
Porto, man. Don't sleep on Porto. Don't sleep on them.
Flip's sake.
Don't sleep on Porto, bro. I'm telling
We're
you.
gonna
Portuguese
slap Porto.
only, yeah. Nah, I was joking, man.
Nah, Porto, listen. If Porto were on the other side, listen, don't count
If
them out.
we
That's what I'm saying.
underestimate Porto, we don't deserve in the semi
Porto
final.
missing 2 key players, man. We've got this first leg.
I know, but
I don't think Chelsea are underestimating Porto at all.
I am.
We need to play Ziyech at all costs, I think. Havertz, both of them.
And Werner, play Werner.
No. Why are we playing
No,
Werner?
I actually agree with Kazilla here. We can't play Werner against Porto when they play.
Why?
I think maybe the second leg will be good for him because if we get an away goal, then they might have to open up a
Yeah.
little bit. And he can
While
attack
the while
For
they're
the
in a
first
low,
leg, nah.
Do you know
while they're in a
what?
low-
Do you know what? Since we're gonna I don't want this for another hour and that about Werner and that because I know Sadiq doesn't like any arguments, any beef in that. But we can save this Werner argument whether he has to start on other day, not today, because
I'm saying we
You
need.
seriously think Timo Werner should start
footballers.
against Porto in the first leg?
he's still asking.
Nah, no way, man. We need
and then show please.
We need players that can unlock the defense. But with Porto, yeah, we just don't sleep on the minute because we have an inability to break deep block teams down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man United.
I think Werner could do well against Porto.
How?
Not in the first leg.
In both legs. I think he could be
Nah,
key.
I think maybe in the first leg, if Porto are chasing for a goal, that's when you throw on a Timo Werner. But for the first, probably before we make a sub, I think probably Ziyech has to play because he's he normally turns up in these big occasions, and if you give him time on the ball, that's what he likes. He doesn't really like the quick counter attacking and stuff. Well, he likes it, but his game is mainly to get time and space on the ball to do things. Havertz as well, and probably Hudson-Odoi as well on the left-hand side because
Pulisic.
Hudson-Odoi on the left is just so creative.
Pulisic, you know.
Either or.
Pulisic or Odoi, one of them.
Yeah, either
Has to
or.
be Odoi. Has to be Odoi.
We need these players that have the ability to create for themselves. We don't need the player that can run in behind a deep block defense, which is virtually impossible at the end of the day. So
Werner
what
brings
we
the
need?
best out of others.
Fam,
Nah,
you know
listen,
what we
I'll
need?
take
Yeah, we need Pulisic or Odoi because you know when Hazard and that played against West Ham, they had a deep block and that, and he just ran through him and just what's it called, put into the bottom corner.
Werner can do that on FIFA.
yeah. I was
On
on
FIFA,
Guys,
Yeah.
listen.
on Father's Ultimate Team, innit?
That's what I'm saying. 89 rated, not 85. Special card. Guys, look, our stream. Thanks for tuning on. Ryan.
We didn't even answer the question. You know that was mad, but yeah, forget that.
We did answer it.
Did we? Nah, I think you did, and then it just turned into a little mini debate about who should start against Porto and deep blocks and that, and then yeah, but it's all good, man.
So good. Kazilla, always tune on. Thank you. Matt, as always, tune on as well. Father, I hope you get well, man. Show us your medicine again. What is that, by the way? Turn it around, other way. Oh no, that's not good, man.
Why are you taking them?
it's antibiotic. What are you talking about?
Damn, that's quite worrying, though, man.
It is
Yo,
quite bad.
Sadiq, why is your lights closed on that? You're doing it in the dark, G.
I don't even know. It's went dark now and it's Maghrib, isn't it? Man's got to pray.
Yeah,
But-
come on.
You, man, keep liking the video, keep subscribing, tune every single day, and we'll see you guys soon, man. Peace.
Peace.